Oh, shit. It's a ghost.
Spoiler! Was ist Spoiler?
Oh, let's check it. At least it's real. What the hell are Marlowe's been doing here? Damn it, I'm trapped down here.
Thank you. So as you just saw from the gameplay demonstration and the concept art that we've got here right now, with Uncharted 3, we've taken a lot of inspiration from the desert surroundings that you've seen earlier today during your treasure hunt here in Wadi Rum, especially the canyons, the rock formations, and the sand. After the treasure hunt event today, I'm sure many of you know firsthand what Drake was feeling at the beginning of this gameplay demonstration as he's climbing up the sand dune. Our team at Naughty Dog worked extremely hard to model the environment realistically so that you, as the player, feel grounded within the experience that you're playing in Uncharted. But it wasn't just the physical environment that inspired the team at Naughty Dog, but the rich history of the region as well. This, of course, makes the region an ideal locale as a centerpiece of an Uncharted game. My friend and colleague at Naughty Dog, Taylor Kurosaki, who's coming up, is our cinematic production lead, and he'll let you know more about how the locale inspired us to create Uncharted 3.
So, this is the third game in the Uncharted series, and in every game so far, what we've set out to do is ground our stories in a real historical context, a launching off point where we can then take Drake on his adventures. And what we call this at Naughty Dog is we call this the Google test. So if a fan wants to search for something that they're reading about or they're seeing in the game, that this stuff actually exists, and it really helps, we feel, ground our games in a real history. So for Uncharted 3, we've got three sort of jumping off points. One is an ancient land that has a big legend surrounding it, and then we've got two historical figures. The first is this ancient civilization called Ubar, alternatively known as the City of Brass, Iram of the Pillars. It was a real city. It was in the Rubicali Desert in the Arabian Peninsula, and at some point it was lost to history. How it was lost, we're not sure, but some of the legends have said that it was struck down by God and swallowed up by the sands of the Rubicali for being a place of evil. In any event, we know this place actually existed, and we used this, and we wanted this to be Drake's sort of ultimate goal. In terms of historical figures, what we've done is, again, we've gone back to Sir Francis Drake, who was our historical hook in Uncharted Drake's Fortune, and who is the purported ancestor of one Nathan Drake. So Sir Francis Drake, the legend is, well, he actually, again, to ground it in a real historical context, Sir Francis Drake circumnavigated the globe, and during his circumnavigation, there was a 6-month period where he said he was in the East Indies. But of course, he was a master nautical man, and there's no way that he would have taken 6 months to get through the East Indies. He was actually, and so there's no records of what he was doing for 6 months. And people assume that he was on some secret mission from Queen Elizabeth I. That is true. Well, where we've taken that is we've said, what if Sir Francis Drake was out there looking for this lost city of Ubar during these 6-month periods? So that's the first sort of historical tie-in. And the second historical tie-in, which is really appropriate for where we are right now, is one T.E. Lawrence. T.E. Lawrence, as we all know, also known as Lawrence of Arabia, spent a lot of time right where we are right now. But after he was done being Lawrence of Arabia and he was living back in England, he told people that if he was ever to go back to the Middle East, that he would be searching for this place called and then he invented a new name for it. He called it the Atlantis of the Sands. So again, we're going back to this Ubar, this Iram of the Pillars, and now we're also referring to it as this Atlantis of the Sands. Unfortunately for T.E. Lawrence, he died before he could come back to the Middle East and search for Ubar, so he never made it. But the one person that we hope is going to make it is Nathan Drake. And unlike T.E. Lawrence, the one thing that Nathan Drake has going for him is he has a group of friends and allies that he can rely on to, in his adventures. So let's look at a couple cutscenes from Uncharted 3 where we show Nathan Drake and a couple of his comrades on their search for Lost City of Ubar. So that was, of course, Nate's friend, mentor, and longtime buddy, Victor Sullivan. Along the way, Nate and Drake reunite with Nate's romantic interest, Elena Fisher, and further along in their adventures, we have this next cutscene we're going to show for you right now.